CCX Sports presents coverage of high school gymnastics tonight. It's a Northwest Suburban Conference match between the Elk River Elks and the Park Center Pirates. From Park Center High School in Brooklyn Park, John Jacobson along with Debbie Rasmussen. Happy to be back with you for a, 28th year, 29th year doing gymnastics here
29,
on CCX.
That's kind of crazy.
A long time. Elk River having a very good season. Their top score this year, 138.40. That happened last Saturday at the meet in Princeton. And both of these teams, Elk River, despite that top score, they have not been healthy. They're missing a couple of good gymnasts tonight. Park Center's had a series of illnesses and injuries. They have not been at full strength. The Pirates' top score this year, 123.4. Elk River comes in at 4-2 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They're in a very tough Section 8. Park Center competes in a very tough Section 5, and the Elks are hoping to make it through, but they're right now behind Brainerd, Bemidji, and St. Cloud Tech right now in the rankings and the scores. But we'll see some good gymnastics in this meet, and the Elks really have some good girls to watch for tonight.
Well, and it's fun. It's kind of the first time we have had a meet with Elk River, so even though they're kind of in a suburb that we don't normally cover, it's very fun to see different teams, and I think it's great for, again, the Park Center girls. We always love coming to this gym. Bruce puts on such a great environment and atmosphere for all of the girls here that being here in Park Center is just a lot of fun to be here. And I think tonight, being that we have a couple of their top gymnasts, you know, it gives a chance for other girls to step up and to fill those spots and possibly solidify maybe alternate position on a team, or gives them a chance to just compete at the varsity level that maybe they wouldn't have had yet this time of year.
Park Center hosted the big MGGOA meet on Saturday here, sponsored by the Minnesota Girls Gymnastics Coaches Association. Great competition, 16 teams competing in 2 different divisions. Detroit Lakes won Division I. They're multiple time state champion in Class A, but you had Champlin Park here and Maple Grove, 2 great teams in Class AA. Traditional powers like Lakeville North was here, and it was just a fun atmosphere and a lot of fun to watch those girls. Montemedi, Class A team, was here. It was great gymnastics down in the main gym. They use this gym here as a warm-up area.
You know, and at a meet like that, it's your first real look at some of the top gymnasts in the state. You've got Cheney New from Champlin Park. She's a sophomore this year. She's won it the last 2 years. And it's just fun for the girls that have maybe heard about her to get a chance to actually see her compete. You're going to be going against teams that you're not going to see until you get to state. Detroit Lakes, Lakeville, those kind of teams that are strong but aren't in your conference. Believe me, everybody knows who everybody is. Right. And so they're checking out their new tricks, their new skills, and just a really fun chance for them to see another gymnast that's outside of their conference. These
teams right now getting their warm-ups in for the first rotation. We'll see Park Center's varsity up on the vault just here in just a few minutes. And so now you're at the point too, Deb, in the season where you're still a few weeks away, a month away really from section meets, but you're off the holiday break, so you got to really get serious about your routines, adding tricks, and trying to get those top scores possible for where you're at in the section meet about 5 weeks from now.
Right now, these girls are looking at repetition, repetition. You want to be able to perform those routines exactly like you do in the gym. Usually there's not the stress that you have in a meet, so that's why in the gym they're doing 10 beam routines, they're doing bar routines over and over and over to get the confidence, to get the repetition, to perform those routines to the best of their ability. You really want to make sure now that you are cleaning things up, you are sticking landings, you're maybe new tricks that you have learned and you're trying to put into your routine are becoming polished and ready to go. We have talked so much in the past about a lot of meets are won by the stuck landings, and we'll talk about that a lot tonight, especially on the vault and the beam, and those are the other things that you're going to be practicing. You're going to be doing dismount after dismount after dismount, because every 10th when you get up to the level where you're competing for one of those top spots, every 10th is important.
With the warm-ups just completing now, and we'll see Park Center, as I mentioned, coming up on the vault in just a moment. You see Elk River warming up there in the background there. Junior varsity will be up first on the vault, and we'll see Park Center's varsity, as I mentioned, in just a moment. With this lineup tonight, Rakia Eastman will be up first, followed by Harmony Harrison, Rachel DuPont, Audrey Krolnick, and Alyssa Lance. A lot of girls getting first varsity experience this season for the Pirates with the injuries and the illnesses that they've had.
You know, I just commend Bruce again for that. He just makes sure that every girl that comes out for this particular sport has an opportunity to compete in several meets throughout the course of the year. It's very important to him, and important too that they become this just incredible team.
Rakia Eastman with her first vault, getting us started tonight. She's a sophomore, 4th year on the team, an all-around competitor, just working just vault tonight.
She looked like she did a handspring half twist. And in vaulting, they get 2 vaults, and they take the scores and they average them together. That's how they come up with the 1 vaulting score. And each vault starts at a particular value.
Her first vault was a 7.2. There's Rakia's second vault.
Did a nice job on that second vault. I think she'll score a little bit higher. She had a little bit better form and better distance from the vaulting table.
Harmony Harrison up next for the Pirates, and indeed a 7.5. So Rakia's second vault does indeed score 0.3 of a point higher. Harmony's another sophomore, another 4-year varsity competitor for the Pirates. Working vault, bars, and floor tonight.
She does a vault there. It's like a quarter twist on with a half twist off. Really great form in the air. Nice straight body position, and those are definitely things that they will be looking for.
Here's her second vault. First one it scored a 7.825.
Again, what I love is the body position. It is straight. She has straight arms, straight legs. We're looking for a great pre-flight with great form. So you'll see here just a slight leg separation and a step on the landing. Otherwise, a very nice job for her.
Rachel DuPont is next. Harmony's second vault, a 7.925, a 1/10 of a point higher than vault 1. And 5 vaulters, top 4 scores will be counted toward the Pirates team score in each event.
Does a half on, half off there. Good body position, but she came a little close to the vaulting platform. That is going to be a small deduction you'll see here. Great run, great pre-flight. She just doesn't get the push that she needs, and tiny step backwards, a little bit close. Judges are going to look for a distance from which she flies off that vaulting platform. Okay, maybe flies off isn't a good way. However, the distance that she lands from the vaulting platform. So I think on the second vault, she's just going to want to get a better block and better push off that. Much better. Definitely a smaller step and a greater distance from the vaulting platform.
Rachel, 3rd year on the team, an all-around competitor tonight. Look at her second vault once more.
When she does that half on, she gets just a little bit farther up, which allows her to have a better block, more on top of that, and then is able to travel a little bit better on the after flight.
Audrey Krolnick up next.
Very nice vault. Great body position. Straight arms, straight legs, and just the, I don't even know if you can call this a step. You'll see here, she does that quarter on, half twist off. Teeny, tiny little step on the end there.
Going back to Rachel DuPont, her second vault was the higher score, 7.725. One more for Audrey here. Senior, just her second year on the team. Was on the team in the 7th grade, took a break for a few years, but back for the Pirates again for her senior year.
Again, another really nice vault, a little bit low in the landing, so she had to take that step over to the sideways. But she has such great body position. You see here, strong run, great form. Those legs and ankles are nice and together, and just kind of a little off on that twist. Took a little bit of a step to the side, but definitely a good vault.
Fifth and final competitor is Alyssa Lance, junior, 5th year on the team. Medaled twice at the MGGOA the other day.
I think it's crazy she's a junior and she's been on the team for 5 years.
Audrey Kolic's top vault, 7.925, and tumbling and unable to catch herself. Alyssa there. She'll get one more try, though.
Almost had a little bit too much power. What she's doing is a half on, a full twist off. So she's doing a full twist when she comes off. You'll see her great strength, beautiful block. And then that full twist, she just almost over-rotated and didn't quite get that landing, get those feet underneath her. This is a beautiful vault. If she sticks it, it should score very well. She's going to want to get a stronger block and a quicker twist.
First vault went as a 7.6, 7.6.
Which is a really good score considering there was a huge deduction for the fall. There, nice vault, much better. Had that step backwards, but she was able to complete the full twist. You'll see here, so here she's coming. She's doing that half on. She does a block, completes the full twist, lands, step backwards. Good job, good body position. There's an actual half a point, a 5/10 deduction for the fall on that first vault, so this vault should definitely score better.
Yes, a nice score of 8.3 for Alyssa Lance to wrap up the Pirates rotation on the vault. We'll take time out. Elk River's varsity will be up on the vault in just a moment. More coverage of high school gymnastics from CCX Sports after this time out.
We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, we're getting so wet.
There's the score for Park Center on the vault to start tonight's meet. Elk River coming up in just a moment here. Noah Robeck will be up first, followed by Emily Dalrymple, Caitlin Waymeyer, Lexi Milnes, and Miranda Schwieger. Noah, only a 7th grader. She's the youngest member of this Elk River team.
It was an outstanding first vault to open up with. She does a half on, full off. You'll see here she completes that full twist. Little bit of a step to the side. Pretty impressive for a 7th grader and for your opening vault. You'll see here she just needs a little bit stronger block so she can complete that twist prior to landing. Nice job. There was a good one. Not a big step at all in that landing.
The first vault scored an 8.35. We'll see how this second vault goes for Nola.
Let's see here, she does that half on. Beautiful form, finishes that twist. Just a tiny, tiny little adjustment on that landing. When you get up into those section meets and the state meet, every 10th is so important amongst probably the top 3 or 4 teams that you are fighting for those landings. It's one of the things that you'll do in practice too, dismount, 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 to learn how to stick those landings, to make sure that it's exactly like it is in the gym.
There's Emily Dalrymple, 3-year team member, letter winner last season.
Starts off with a half on, half off, and just beautiful form. You'll see here, good block. She does that half on, twist, half off. Again, just that tiny little step on the landing. It should score pretty well.
Zimmerman, part of this co-op team. Emily is actually a junior at Zimmerman High School. All-state honorable mention and beam and floor last season. Scored an 8.2 for the first vault. Here's vault number 2.
Again, a stronger vault as far as that afterflight goes. She had much better body position. The step was a little bit bigger. We'll see how the judges are going to score this one here. So you'll see beautiful. She does that half on, great form, really clean half up, but a bigger step on that landing.
Score of 8.25, so 500ths of a point higher for Emily Dalrymple. And now Caitlin Waymeyer.
Absolutely beautiful. You'll notice on this vault, she has such a great pre-flight. It's strong. It's higher on that vaulting table. She gets a great block from that, and she just makes that half on kind of just float. You see, tiny little hop on the landing. That's how that particular vault should be done.
3-year team member for Elks team, a sophomore at Zimmerman High School. Coach said she's had some problems with her knees. You can see the wrap there on her left leg, but didn't show anything there, right?
Again, just a great, I love the body position on the afterflight. It's straight, she has a great block, and it just kind of floats. You'll see here, good strong run, but she blocks and she twists completely with both hands off that vault. A lot of girls will start twisting before they're ready to block off that, and that's a little bit of a deduction too. Judges want to see a clean block, both hands off that platform, and then the twisting.
First vault was an 8.6, second one 8.575. Fourth varsity competitor for the Elks, Lexi Milnes. Lexi, a 3-year member of the Elk River team, a letter winner last season, sophomore at Elk River High School, and assistant captain. And look at her first vault again.
Doing a handspring full, and watch the distance that she travels away from the vaulting platform. You can tell she's a little bit sideways on that coming off of it, but that is power coming off that vault.
Lexi also compete in the bars and the floor exercise tonight. Her first vault scored her an 8.65. And here's vault 2.
Again, another beautiful vault. I'm just so impressed with the distance that she travels. A little bit of leg separation on that last half of that twist, but all in all, really nice handspring full. See your legs cross just a tiny bit. A little bit more control on that landing, a good vault.
We'll wait a moment for her score to be posted here. It is an 8.8. And the last up, Miranda Schwager.
Beautiful vault. One of the most difficult we'll see tonight. That vault is a Sukahare, which is a half-on back flip-off. She does it in the pike position, which gives us a little bit higher degree of difficulty. You'll see here, half-on, really strong block, nice pike. A little bit low on the landing, but that is a tough vault to do.
Miranda, all-conference, all-state honorable mention last year, team MVP a year ago. A good first vault, an 8.95. Here's her second attempt.
Does that one. She has a little bit better landing closer to the vaulting platform when she is on her after flight, but definitely stronger, a little bit more control in that landing. All she needs to do is get her shoulders up a little bit higher, and she's looking at 9s for that. So definitely a lot, big vault for her.
And Miranda, identical score. Both her vaults score an 8.95. And so that wraps up Elk River's competition for their varsity here on the vault. We'll take a break. We'll come back and give you their scores. Park Center up on the uneven bars. More competition from Park Center High School after this timeout.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We are underway. This is Lexi Millis, first competitor up on the uneven bars for Elk River. Zoe Johnson, Joey Freeby, Miranda Schwieger, and Abby Rexted to follow.
Absolute, really fantastic start for Elk River. I think one of the things judges are going to be looking for on the uneven bars is the continuous movement, that there's no stops and starts, that one skill goes into the next skill. You'll see here she's doing a free hip back hip circle. She casts immediately into the beautiful layout flyweight, just the tiniest hop on that landing. Really nice start for them. Getting little words of wisdom from the coach prior to mounting the bar. The hardest part as a gymnast is when you're ready to go, but the judges maybe quite aren't ready to go. And the last thing you want to do is to have to stand there, because then your mind starts to think and wonder. And most of the time the girls are pretty disciplined. However, if it were someone like me, I'd be thinking about macaroni and cheese for dinner or something. So I'm not in the sport anymore.
Lexi Millis, a score of 7.7. Zoe Johnson up next.
She starts nice there with a kip into a switch kip. This is probably, oh gosh darn, she missed that. But that is one of my favorite transition moves, is that little back toe circle up to the high bar. Gymnast does have, I think it's about 15 to 20 seconds to mount the bar and get started. Nice giant swings on those high bar, great straight arms. Very nice layout flyaway dismount. You know, she'll be bummed about the fall. That will cost her 5/10. But this dismount is just beautiful. You'll see it kind of layout flyaway, just floats to that dismount. The tiny, teeniest of step forward. Really hard when you're a gymnast and you have a fall during your routine. It's tough sometimes to get yourself back together and get back on. Bars isn't as hard probably as the balance beam is. But she did a nice job and she finished strong.
Zoe was also on the diving team, led her in her first season of diving for the Elks, and competing here. And this is one of her 3 events that she'll compete in. We'll see her later in the beam and the floor. Zoe Freeby is up next. First year on the team. She's an 8th grader at Spectrum High School. It's a private school in Elk River. One of the top scorers on the bars this season for the Elks.
You can just tell the way that she moves from skill to skill. Great form with lots of speed. These giant swings watching her and warm up. The form is what is so impressive. And here she's going to have that beautiful flyaway dismount.
Zoe Johnson at a 7.05. That's a good routine there for Zoe Freebie. We'll see how this scores for her.
You'll see she does that free hip back hip circle, and it's just one right to the next. These giants, straight arms, straight legs, floats that dismount. Little step on that landing, just a little step backwards. Otherwise, a beautiful routine for her.
Miranda Schwieger up next for the Elks as she waits for the score to be posted for Zoe Freebie. And a score of 8.3 for Zoe Freebie. And now Miranda Schwieger.
It's very important for gymnasts to change direction on that, and she just did a very unique straddle change and then a free hip right into two giant swings with a little layout or a little tuck flyaway dismount. That was a beautiful routine for her. Here's that straddle, half turn into the glide kip. Cast to, or squat on, and she'll go right here into a tuck flyaway dismount with a really strong landing. The next gymnast that we're going to take a look at here actually broke her ankle 2 weeks prior to the season, and she has just been cleared. It appears that she's only going to be doing bars tonight. A little bit of a watered down routine is from what we learned from the coaches, but strong enough to take that anchor position here for the Elk River team.
Abby Rexted, she's a freshman at Elk River. They hope her to kind of ease her back into the competition. And this first one's always a big one, right? Coming off an injury.
It is. You are so excited. There's a kip cut catch, which is a really fun and unique move. She did a lot of skills in the opposite direction before she switched kip. She's going here for those giant swings. You can just tell the form is absolutely beautiful. And a layout flyaway dismount, and you've got to be thinking in the back of your mind, I'm coming off a broken ankle. Right. I'm so excited to get back, but there's a little bit of, oh my gosh, I'm coming off a broken ankle. At the beginning of that routine was just beautiful. Lots of really unique skills. Her giant swings are wonderful.
That was pretty good for a watered-down routine.
A watered-down routine. I'd like to see what her non-watered-down routine is. That was really nice. Well, that's with, we get little profiles of the gymnast prior to starting the meet tonight, and they said her watered-down routine was strong enough to give her that anchor position. So
she'll also compete in the beam coming up, the next apparatus for Elk River. And I think she scores the highest score tonight for the Elks, an 8.8. So a nice job by Abby Rexted to finish off the varsity competition tonight for the Elks. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll give you the scores for Elk River now through 2 rotations. Park Center varsity will be up next on the bars after this timeout.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, she just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
There's the score for Elk River on the bars, 33.475. Their total score now, 68.175 through their first 2 rotations. Park Center finishing up on their warm-ups here for the bars. You look at Jennifer Bartlett, 19th year as head coach at Elk River. Been coaching altogether 25 years and really has a nice, strong program again this year for the Elks to be one of the top ones in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Fortunately, has to compete with teams like Champlin Park and Maple Grove. The Crimson right now ranked 2nd in the state, but not in the same section as either of those teams. So have a different group of teams to go against there.
And we will have an opportunity to see that Maple Grove team coming up here.
Against Champlin, yeah,
against
January
Champlin.
31st on CCX. We are ready to go here, Park Center. Jessica Martinez up first, a freshman for Park Center. Her first time competing varsity bars, her 2nd year on the team.
This is one of those girls that because of the illness and injury, she has a chance right now to be up here on that varsity level. Give herself that first shot, and she's doing an excellent job right now. Just hung on to the high bar a little bit too long and got her feet hung up on that flyaway. But considering this is her first time, it is a scary thing to fill that opening spot on the bars. And I think she did an absolute great job. She doesn't have the depth of the skills, but she had great movement and one trick went right to the next trick, and it was just that she hung on to the bar on the dismount just a little bit too long, and she kind of got her feet hung up on there. But how fun for her.
So Coach TJ Dean giving her a little pep talk. He's 3rd year now with the Park Center program as an assistant coach. There he is. Also coaches football over at Augsburg rather. That's the Augies football.
That would be
shirt
my
that he's wearing.
old
That's
alma
right,
mater.
that's your alma mater.
Yes. You River
Go
Falls.
Augies.
I'm an Augie. You were a Robin, I was a Hawk.
Right. There's Bruce Smith on the right, his daughter Amanda Molden on the left. So Bruce, 30th year as head coach of Park Center, and went into the Gymnastics Coaches Hall of Fame here last year. And, a great honor for him.
And he should be honored. This is a gentleman that has kept this program alive back when they probably didn't have a lot of girls and a lot of talent. And he does not cut a girl from this team. He believes every girl that wants to compete and participate, he allows that to happen. He actually hires a separate judge. He has like a 2nd JV team that competes on the opposite events during these meets. So all of these girls have an opportunity to compete. They have an opportunity for their families to see them compete. Just an amazing human being. I just think
absolutely. Audrey Krolnick, her 2nd event tonight. We saw her on the vault, scored an 8.0 for her best vault.
Doing a nice bar routine. Again, maybe not the difficulty that we've seen, but it was very clean. Not a lot of form breaks. She had great movement, and you can tell she's very excited about that. She cast right here into that nice tuck flyaway dismount. Very stuck landing. Nice job.
Harmony Harrison up next.
Bars, I think, is one of the funnest events to watch, but as a gymnast, for me, it was the most difficult. Takes a lot of abdomen strength. I didn't really have that.
Audrey Krolnick, a 5.05. That's her season high for the year. Really happy with that. And here's Harmony Harrison. Came up with a 7.925 earlier on the vault.
Did a nice change of direction, doing the kip work from one way and then switches it up to the other way. We've got some long hang kips here, tuck flyaway, beautiful stuck landing. Very clean, good routine. So she does this switch kip, which basically means we go from one direction to another. Does the squat on, here's her long hang kips, cast right away into that tuck flyaway dismount, perfect landing. She should be happy with that routine.
Rachel DuPont up next. Rachel at a 7.725 on the vault. Her high score in this event is 6.2. Score for Harmony Harrison is 6.2. That's a season high for her.
That's a good score. Starting with a glide kip into back hip circle, 2 back hip circles. There's the squat on, long hang kip. That is a kip cut catch, which fulfills a release move into another long hang kip. Tuck flyaway dismount, good routine for her. After the kip cut catch, if you don't have a lot of swing, it's hard to make that long hang kip come out of that, and she was able to do that. It was beautiful. So it's a release move. Maybe didn't make that kip all the way, but my guess is it's one of the first times that she's able to make that, because everybody got really excited about that one.
Alyssa Lance will be up next. As we wait for Rachel's score, again, her high score this year, 6.2.
Thinking it should be a little higher than that. I know she had a little bit of the that long hang kip. She made it up there, a little bit of a break in the momentum, but still, I think.
Deb, we have our first judges conference of the night. The judges, they are far enough apart on a score, have to come back and they compare their notes on the previous routine and come to an agreement.
Yep, one judge either has to lower the score, one has to raise the score, and there it might have been that a different value was given, or a deduction was greater or not enough. And so it's usually when they're over 5/10 in between the scores that the judges then have to confer. You can tell them looking over their sheets.
Amanda Daly on the left, Emily Johnson on the right. Her other 2 judges tonight, Ann Suits and Mary Coogan-Burke. Emily Johnson, we'll see here in a couple of weeks. Coaches with her sister Megan at Hopkins High School with their varsity team. We'll see the score they post now for Rachel DuPont is a 6.8, so season high for her. So it's 3 gymnasts in a row posting their season high. And here's Alyssa Lance, who placed 10th on the bars at the MGGOA meet in Division II on Saturday here.
Doing a couple of these moves are rear uprises right into a free hip back hip circle, long hang kip, flyaway dismount, and that's how you stick a landing. Very nice routine for her. Those are those rear uprises into that free hip back hip circle. She casts right away, and here's that beautiful dismount. Not even a little squiggle or nothing, straight, right, good landing for her. As a coach, that's what you want every meet, especially now that we're into January. Come December, in December, they're still trying, they're still working. But in January now, like you say, crunch time, we want every meet to score higher than the meet prior. You want to clean up those little errors, stick those landings, and your score, as a coach, want your score to increase every single meet.
We'll hang on just for a moment to give you the score for Alyssa Lance before we take our next break. And a score of 7.2 for Alyssa. So not quite as high as Saturday. She had a 7.55 at that MGGOA meet, but still time to move that score up. And
yes.
has a potential to get into the 8s. Coach Smith feels later this season. We will take a timeout. We'll take a break. Come back. Park Center's beam routines will be up next. More coverage of our Northwest Suburban Conference meet from Park Center High School after this timeout.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
First for Park Center on beam tonight, competing JV earlier. First varsity event tonight. She is a senior, a co-captain. High score this year, a 7.85.
It's hard for the viewers to see. We are so close to that beam right now that to me, I mean, the gym is a little smaller than, you know, the big gym, but as a gymnast, it's like maybe a little bit of, I don't know if concerning is the right word, but it didn't seem to phase her at all. She had a beautiful routine. She did a lot of combinations, which is what judges will be looking for. You'll see here, this is a very nice punch front dismount. A small step on that landing, and again, a good start for Park Center. This is the one event that being the first up is the hardest. You are setting the pace for the rest of your teammates. If you come on strong, the scores, you get that kind of momentum and that energy going, and scores can only build from there. So she had a very nice start for Park Center today.
Aaliyah Tweet will be up next for Park Center, be followed by Kalia Zhang, Rachel DuPont, and Alyssa Lance tonight.
And you'll see here what she's doing is marking the beam, getting ready for a dismount. I don't know what the dismount is, but she has a unique, all gymnasts have a unique way of measuring how they want to start for the combinations that she'll be using to go into the dismount. It might be 2 back handsprings, 2 back walkovers, you know, not sure. We'll see here in a moment, but that's what she was able to put that little mark on the beam here.
Score 7.9 for Sarah Hines to get the Pirates started. So her top score this year. Now here's Aaliyah.
Opened up with a no-handed mount directly into a jump. And here she is doing jumps. Anytime you add a half a turn, 3/4 of a turn, you're increasing the difficulty and the score, the value of that particular trick. And you'll see here, she does a very nice job of adding a quarter twist or half twist to those jumps. Beautiful cartwheel, swings through right into another one. Little tiny balance check. A wolf jump into a 3/4 twisting wolf jump. She makes these jumps look so simple, and they are not when you're landing on a 4-inch. That beam is 4 inches wide, 4 feet off the ground. That was a beautiful routine for her. Here you can tell 3/4. Kind of you know, as you're doing that twisting, you want to make sure that you land back on the beam for starters. But here's a beautiful full twisting layout front dismount. Nice job for her.
Aaliyah seems quite happy with that. We'll see her score here in a moment. It's such a big part of the beam, obviously, is staying on. It's such a huge deduction. You're able to stay on, you know, and hit your routine as you have planned out in your head and how you practiced it. That's great.
Yes.
And that's I think what happened there for Aaliyah. Everything came together.
It did, and it was, like I said, those adding the half twist and the three-quarter twist to any of those jumps just will increase the difficulty that she has in her routine, and we're able to get a little bit higher of a score. But she did it with such ease. There wasn't the balance checks or the bobbles. It was just, you know, jump, half turn, jump, three-quarter turn, nice solid landings on those.
Clea Zhang up next, a junior. As you see the score, an 8.15, a season high for Alea Tweeds. That's a huge jump up from where she had been at 7.5. Now Kalea's top score, 7.95, and a gymnast that Coach Smith believed can score in the mid-8s by year's end.
She was able to save that half turn jump there too, and was able to save the fall. She's going to do back walk over here. Go right into a round off. Unfortunately, she's just off a little bit, and the fall will cost her half a point.
Kalea's third year on this Park Center team.
Really nice split jumps. They were about as close to 180 as you can get at nice hip height. That jump is so incredibly difficult. It's a full twisting tuck jump, and you're landing sideways on that balance beam. Those are the types of jumps that if you stick, they really give you some higher scores. Unfortunately, here's those split jumps, which really are wonderful. And she does a aerial front dismount. Probably not the routine that she was hoping for, but what impresses me is the height of her jumps and loops too. When they're at hip level or above, that's a level of execution hard to come by.
So as we wait for Kalea's score, Rachel DuPont will await her routine. She's scored as high as an 8.7. She scored, placed fourth at the MGGOA meet here the other day.
Wow, this will be a fun routine then. Fourth is hard with all of those teams that were here. Nice accomplishment. Right there is the full turn. You'll notice that every single gymnast will have that in their routine. It is a requirement. And we're talking requirement from, oh gosh, that was a beautiful aerial cartwheel. Almost had that. That full turn is something you'll see high school, college, Olympic, elite. Everybody has to have a full turn in their routine. Gorgeous jumps, adding that three-quarter twist to that. Oh, darn. Front walkover, unfortunately, wasn't able to hang on to that. Nice solid cartwheel. Love the combination. She does a full twisting jump immediately into the back flip dismount. I have not seen this. I think that is very unique. You don't often get surprised anymore in this sport because we see a lot of the same stuff. So, you know, snaps to that. It was great.
Oh, wait, Rachel's score. Kaleah Zhang's score is 6.875. We didn't give you that earlier. I'll wait for Rachel DuPont. Melissa Lance will be up last for the Pirates.
I think the aerial cartwheel was new for her this year. I don't think we saw that. That's a a move that we don't see a whole lot in the high school gymnastics. Lots of back handsprings, back flips, that kind of thing. But I love the aerial cartwheel. As you can see here, this is her way of measuring. We do a whole arm span and then a forearm with the palm, and we're going to make our little mark on the beam there. So when she gets ready for that dismount, my guess is that's where her toes will be. I believe I watched her work on, it might have been a cartwheel full twist or a back handspring full twist dismount. I'm not quite sure. But when you get to meets where there's multiple teams, there are marks all over that balance beam before you start.
7.675 for Rachel DuPont, and here's Alyssa Lance, high of 8.5 this year. Has a chance to push into the 9s, according to the coaches. And
nice job. Again, with the great height on those jumps. Yay! Had to fight for that one. Teammates are fighting right along with her. She did a cartwheel with a push, like a walked right through into that round off. Getting ready for that dismount. You can see her toes are perfectly where she put her mark. Beautiful cartwheel full twisty dismount. Nice job. The form breaks were there, but she was fighting to save those tricks, and she didn't have a fall. There's that round off. I don't know how she stayed on. I really don't. That was good. Here's that beautiful cartwheel full twist dismount. And you can tell she's very happy with that.
Nice job by Alyssa Lance. Gets congratulations there from Annika Lee there in the gray shirt. She's, we'll talk more about her in the next rotation for Park Center. Their top gymnast coming in. Had a 9.4 on the vault at the MGGOA meet on Saturday, but then suffered a fall on the bars later. He's been battling injuries this year, but really an outstanding gymnast, state competitor last year, and they hope to get her healthy and have a chance to get her back to state again this year out of Section 5 AA.
That would be awesome. She is a powerhouse on the vault, and that is too bad that we didn't get a chance to see her in that event tonight.
We'll hold on here for the score for Alyssa Lance before we go to break. We get an 8 from one judge, waiting for the other score to turn. On 7.975 will be Alyssa Lance's score for tonight. So we will take another timeout. We'll come back. Elk River's varsity up on the balance beam. More competition on CCX from Park Center High School after this. There's the score for Park Center on the beam. A moment ago, 31.7. The running total now 88.9 through 3 events for the Pirates. Elk River, Emily Dalrymple will lead things off here for the Elks. She'll be followed by Nola Robeck, Miranda Schwieger, Abby Regstead, and Joey Johnson. Emily, we saw earlier tonight on the vault, scored an 8.25. Coming off her career best score, 9.3 at the Clemenson Invite on Saturday.
Opened up with a split jump into a 3/4 twisting tuck jump. Beautifully done. There's that ever-dreaded required full turn. Getting ready for an acrobat series here. She does back walkover. Shoulders continue to move. Judges are looking for that. Back walkover right into the next one. You talk about change of direction on the bars. It's important on the balance beam too. You have to show that you can do some elements lower on the balance beam as well as just standing. Beautiful round off full twisting dismount. Nice job.
Great start for the Elks. She's been a gymnast who has stuck 6 of her 7 routines so far, now 7 for 8 with this one.
Very nice. That round off on the beam is a tough fit. It's a cartwheel you're landing with 2 feet together, but the issue here is not only does she have to land that trick, she's got to think about throwing the full twist after that trick also, which she did very successfully. It was a nice routine. Big smile, very happy with that.
Nola Robeck will be next. And Nola's coming off her career best score on this event, 9.2 at the Clemenson Invite. She placed 11th.
Homage to that was just a fun meet. We had heard Bruce talking about this. The gym that we're in now was used for the warm-up gym, and he was saying the music was cranking, the energy was really high, and the girls had a blast.
The judges are going to look at the scores again for Emily Dalrymple before we get our second routine. One thing we haven't talked about tonight with the Elks, other than briefly mentioning it, that they're not at full strength. Their top all-rounder is out tonight. Freshman Cadence Marty, dislocated shoulder that happened in the dual meet between the Elks and Anoka earlier this season. She's been cleared for light workouts, but they get her back. Those scores will go up for overall for their team, and they're also missing their only senior, Michaela Delansky, who suffered a concussion over the break. And so she's out tonight, and will be back to practices starting next Monday.
Well, and then you have Abby that's not technically at full strength either, although her bar routine was exceptional. But those are 3 pretty big scores that you are normally used to counting, so they're doing an excellent job. Hang on. Oh.
Nola unable to hang on.
Looks like she's going to repeat it because she wants the connection. It's a back handspring right into that back walkover. Beautifully done. And a full twisting layout dismount. She will get a deduction for that fall, but she got back up and at least got that connection. Here's that full twisting front dismount with a solid landing.
Nice strong finish after the fall.
That was a tough situation too. She did the back handspring and she fell off that, but in order to get the credit for the combination, she had to get back up and do that back handspring again.
Elk started with an 8.95 score for Emily Dalrymple. Now Nola awaiting her score is Miranda Schwieger. It's set. She'll be the 3rd competitor tonight for the Elks varsity. final rollback score, an 8.15. And now Miranda Schwieger with a fall.
Doing a wolf jump into a 3/4 wolf jump. Great height on that, just wasn't able to hang on to that landing. Beautiful back walkover. Hang on to that. Oh, nice save. These are difficult. These are one-arm front walkovers. Unfortunately, wasn't able to save the second one. Those are incredibly difficult. They are a blind landing. You just make sure that your shoulders stay square to that balance beam so that you come down, hopefully standing. Nice round up backflip dismount. Probably not the routine that she was hoping for. But anytime you fall and you get back up, and she had a lot of difficulty after the falls, this is a very nice round up backflip, and you can kind of see she was off on that and she was headed towards the side, but she's done so many of these that she was able to save that landing on that, but probably not the routine that she wanted. Still, the elements that she did very well.
Good thing is, if you're an all-arounder, till the end of the meet, you get one more event, more events to come,
yes,
right? And
you don't have
rotates
to,
the floor still ahead.
You don't have to end on that. Beam by far is the most difficult, most nerve-wracking. I think the scariest. You either love beam or you despise it.
Waiting on the score from Miranda. Excuse me, Deb.
Oh no, you can. I just breaks your heart when you see a gymnast that, you know, tried everything that they could and just didn't have that meet. But this is a dual meet. This is a meet that if you are gonna have issues, better to have them here than in one of the sections.
Score of 7.15 for Miranda Schwieger. Here's Abby Regstead. We talked about her earlier. Broke her ankle 2 weeks before the season. Her first time on bars a little while ago, and her first time this season competing on beam. Practiced one day on this routine, and they just want to get her through this routine and add more tricks as the season goes on. Because her season kind of really starting halfway through, or a couple of months after everybody else's.
Right. Beautiful front walkovers, just off a tiny bit, but for her, this is just about getting back up on the beam today in competition, coming back from that broken ankle. She is a phenomenal gymnast, you can see that, so this is just building confidence for her, testing that ankle to see what it can and can't do. Beautiful leap series that she had there. Nice wolf jumps, hang on, nice job. Wow, that was a nice job. And again, this meet for her is just get me back on that balance beam. Let me have a meet. Let me see what I can and can't do. She should be very proud of herself. She was so close to the end of the beam.
She was very close, didn't it?
She put
I was like, wow, her head looked awfully close there.
But that is, you know, you can just tell she's an incredibly strong gymnast, and baby steps to get her back. And I think she can, you know, huge sigh of relief. Did it, got this routine done, got through my first meet. She should be very proud of herself for that.
Zoe Johnson coming up next. She's averaging 8.5 for the season on this event, but placed fourth at that Clemson Invite last Saturday in Princeton with a score of 9.4. So it's really some great potential for her.
This will be a fun routine then to see.
Abby Regstead with a 7.65, and now Zoe Johnson.
the originality in the mount. Like I said, we see a lot of the same stuff, and when you get to see something original like that, very special. Beautiful split leap into a 3/4 jump. Full turn. There's her front walkover. Right into the back handspring. She will lose a little bit for the connection. What you want is that front walkover to go immediately into the back handspring. We saw her just nail one in practice. Even though she had that little bit of bounce check, it's still a beautiful combination. Gorgeous switch leap into side straddle. Getting ready for her dismount here. She heads from back handspring into that full twist. Nice dismount, great landing. Shoulders were a little bit low, but all in all, I think it was a very, very nice routine. Here's that back handspring. Immediately into the full twist. You'll see tiny step on the landing, or just her shoulders were a little bit low on that. I think she'll still have a pretty decent score. I don't know if it's going to be a 9-4 like she did this weekend, but still.
But after the Elks had a couple of falls in this event, it's nice to end with a solid routine. I'm sure Zoe happy overall with that routine. They'll have one more event coming up as you see them walking down toward the floor exercise here. Park Center's JV finishing up on the floor. As you look at Jennifer Bartlett, she told me before the meet, said, I started coaching when I was 13. I was still competing, but also coaching at that time.
Then you knew that she was destined. That is a person who's super supportive of their teammates, and she's a good leader, and here she is, you know, years later, still doing that.
Zoe Johnson keeping an eye down on the scoreboards next to us to see what her score was for that routine that she just completed, and scored an 8.35. Coach Bruce Smith looking on. We will take a break. We'll come back. The Elk River Elks up on the floor. More gymnastics from Park Center High School after this.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
There's our cumulative team score through 3 events. Elk River 101.275. Park Center 88.9 as we head to the floor exercise. Elk River will be up first. Gracie Jensen, Zoe Johnson, Lexi Millis, Emily Dalrymple, and Miranda Schwieger, the 5 varsity competitors tonight for the Elks. This will be our first look tonight at Gracie Jensen. She has competed JV in the other 3 apparatus. She is an 8th grader. First year on the team, former Minnesota Aerials athlete. And a look at Gracie Jensen, start for the Elks.
It's a pretty big accomplishment to be an 8th grader starting on a varsity if it's your first time. Very exciting. Getting ready for that first tumbling pass. Beautiful front handspring, layout front, pike front. Nice opener. Good combination of leaps there. Around that back handspring, half twist for that second tumbling pass. Really seems to be enjoying the music out there, as are the teammates. And getting ready for that third and final tumbling pass. Round off 2 back handsprings, beautiful layout. Lots of fun, great music, high energy. I think for the first time out, she did a beautiful job. That first tumbling pass, lay out front right into a pike front and just nailed the landing on that. The second one here, she does back handspring with the half twist. And the final one, 2 back handsprings into a beautiful layout. Just had a lot of fun with that ending. She seems very happy with that.
We'll give you Gracie's score in a moment. Zoe Johnson will be up next. Freshman averaging an 8.55 on this event, her first year of high school competition. Zoe had the second high score on beam a short time ago, that 8.35 that closed out Elk River's competition. An 8.4 score for Gracie Jensen to start out tonight for the Elks on the floor. And now Zoe Johnson.
Getting ready for opening pass. Beautiful. She does a 1.5 twist. There's a nice height there on that full twisting wolf jump. Aerial car roll immediately into a backflip. She sets up in the corner for her second tumbling pass. Front handspring layout. Nice job. Little push front walk over into the corner. She gets ready for that third and final tumbling pass. Round off 2 back handsprings into a full twist. Nicely done. Nice routine. Love their music. Very fun.
Let's look at it. Zoe Johnson again.
There's that opening pass. She does a 1.5 twist. And the second one is her forward. Great handspring front layout. Third and final, she'll do 2 back handsprings into a full twisting backflip. Nice when you have twisting elements in 2 out of the 3 tumbling passes. Adds a little bit more difficulty into those.
Lexi Millis will be up next for the Elks. Zoe Johnson posts a score of 8.65. As I mentioned, averaging 8.55 on the season, so up 10th and a point from that. Lexi Millis, Coach Bartlett saying this routine a joy to watch.
Beautiful round of back handspring full twist to open up her tumbling passes. I have to say I'm loving their choreography. I don't know if they have someone that does it for them or if the girls and the coaches do it together. It's very fun.
has a dance background. I imagine a lot of these girls do or have been in dance before, and it'd be great to incorporate that into the floor exercise.
This by far is probably the funnest event in gymnastics because you really get to let your personality shine when you're picking out your own music and helping with the choreography. It gets to show who and what you are, and here she is for her third pass. Beautiful round off back handspring, tuck back, super high into that high straddle split. Nice ending. Love the smile. She seems to really enjoy herself out there and have a good time.
Lexi Millis, and look at part of her routine again.
Here's that first tumbling pass. She does a beautiful full twist with lots of height. Here's her forward tumbling pass. Front handspring, layout front flip. And that one just a nice high tuck back into a straddle. Lots of energy and fun to watch.
Well, Lexi waiting for her score.
Looks like they're
going to confer about it.
Confer quickly.
Coogan Burke and Emily Johnson will come together for this score for Lexi Millis before we see Emily Dalrymple, who's in the background there.
I would think this and the balance beam would have the most judges conferences because there's so much to document. You've got jumps, you've got leaps, you've got turns, you've got tumbling skills, you've got combinations, you have to have certain acro dance series, and you know, there's the sport changes and the recommendations and the requirements change every year too. So as judging, I'm kind of surprised it goes as quick as it does. Although you did jinx it tonight, John.
I said things were moving along.
Things were moving along.
Still moving along at
a
pretty good pace.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Looks like they've reached a conclusion here, so we're good.
Yeah, we get a score of 8.875 for Lexi Millis. Emily Dalrymple coming off her best score of the season at the Clemenson Invitational, 9.1. Coach says she really gets the crowd into her routine and shows off her spunky attitude.
And I believe that just in watching a little bit I did during warm-ups here. Oh, darn, that was a 1.5 twist. I think that's a new trick for her. Unfortunately, she had a fall and also went out of bounds, so she might not get the score. But still, beautiful job playing to the camera. Here's her second tumbling pass. Punch front, punch front. Nice landing, stands it up. Beautiful job. 2 straddle jumps that were probably almost at shoulder level. They were pretty high. Ends up with a very nice round of 2 back handsprings, full twist. Nice job. Even though she had that fall on the first tumbling, she was able to stay strong and regain her confidence. So here she goes. She's doing a 1.5 twist, and you can tell she just over-rotated a little bit and ended up having to fall and step a little out of bounds. This was beautiful. 2 punch fronts, height's incredible. And this last one, very clean, round off 2 back handsprings, full twisting back flip. Nice job.
Emily will await her score. Miranda Schwieger up next.
I love how she came back with still the strong personality, confidence dance moves, even after, you know, that fall in the opening tumbling pass.
And scored an 8.5. Miranda Schwieger has the team high score in this event, 9.225. (2018) team MVP of the Elks.
Beautiful opening tumbling pass. She's around a back handspring, half twist into a punch front. Gorgeous 1.5 twisting jump there. Very nice front handspring, front layout. Lots of twisting into those jumps, which adds difficulty and great combinations for her. Final tumbling pass, 2 back handsprings into a nice high back flip. There's a ring jump there to end the routine. Really pretty. Good job.
Coach Bartlett telling us this routine full of dance, tumbling, leaping, height levels, and personality, and I think we saw all of that.
Well, and the difficulty right there, that half twist into a punch front. It's a great opening sequence. Very nice handspring layout front, great form, and she ends up here. Very nice back, 2 back handsprings, and that back flip is about as high as she is tall. Execution was very nice.
We'll hang on here for Miranda Schwieger's score before we go to break. I think she's happy with that routine. Remember, she disappointed with how things went for her on the beam, and able to finish strong like that. I think a great way to end her night.
I think that if you love the floor and you've had a tough meet, and that is a great place to go because it's fun. I mean, you can fall, but it's not, you know, as scary to fall off the floor as it is the bars or the balance beam and stuff, but it's just an event where you can just breathe and enjoy it and show your strengths, with be it dance or tumbling. It's to me the most entertaining and the funnest of the 4 events.
And she gets the team high score on the floor, an 8.90 for Miranda Schwieger. We will take time out. We will wrap up our meet in a moment. Park Center up on the floor exercise when we continue with our Northwest Suburban Conference meet on CCX after this.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Here's Upriver's score on the floor exercise, 34.925. We get set for our 8th and final rotation of the night. Park Center varsity will be up here on the floor in a moment. Sage Shea will be followed by Rachel DuPont, Harmony Harrison, Galea Zhang, and Alyssa Lance.
Getting some words of encouragement as she gets ready to take the floor and start out for.
And you know why she's getting words of encouragement? Her first time competing varsity right here for the sophomore Sage Shea. Came from a competition cheer background, just learning gymnastics. She's only competed for a couple of times, but has scored as high as 7.55.
Wow.
That's not a bad opening pass for your first time on varsity.
For your first time on varsity. I know that coming from cheer, you have to be able to tumble, so that, you know, makes a lot. But she has a showmanship of a performer, like you can tell in the way that she smiles and stuff. And that's a big thing when it comes to being on a competitive cheer team. Very exciting. She does a punch front walkout into a round off back handspring for her second one. Getting ready for that third and final tumbling pass. Round off 2 back handsprings into a back flip. Nice job. She can be very proud of that routine.
Look at part of Sage's routine again. Here's that first pass.
Round up 2 back handsprings into it's kind of a pike, almost a layout, but kind of a pike. But here's that punch front walkout. Lands a little low, but I love that she just keeps going. She gets the cartwheel in and the back handspring afterwards. And a round off 2 back handsprings into a nice back flip.
Sage will see how that routine scored for her. Teammate Rachel DuPont up next.
I think it's very excited, you know, here she knows she's going to possibly get to compete varsity. You know, when did she find out? Tonight when she got her? Did she find out prior? I mean, a lot of times these decisions are made when they get here.
Here's Rachel DuPont.
Again, another gymnast that you can tell loves playing to the crowd with lots of energy and lots of personality.
Sage Shave's routine is 7.45. Rachel's high score on this event also at 7.45. New music and routine this season.
Switch leap into another leap, adding a little bit of a twist. Handspring punch front into forward roll. Very nice aerial cartwheel, as I was hoping we'd see that since she performed it on the beam. Let's bring it down to the floor where it's a little bit easier. Third and final tumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings. Nice high back tuck. Really cute routine. Loves it. Lots of fun, lots of energy. Here's that opening tumbling pass. Round up back handspring. Very nice layout backflip. Great form. Her second one, she does front handspring punch front to dive roll. And the final one, round off. 2 back handsprings. Nice height on that back flip. Just loving the smile. I want gymnasts to get out there, smile, have fun, play to the crowd, play to the judges. I think it's just a real sense of showmanship that I love when we see that in the sports. A lot of times it can be so serious and stoic, and you're like, no, get out there and just have fun. Pick the music that just makes you sing. Oh, it sounds like I'm at Disney. I won't break into song.
Harmony Harrison will be the third Pirates competitor on varsity, a 7.775 score for Rachel DuPont. Well, that's a season high for her. Harmony Harrison has been high as 8.0. Great jumper, great height and twisting. Coach Smith believes has the potential to be in the mid-8s this year. We'll see where this routine gets her.
Very nice full twisting straddle jump. Round off 2 back handsprings, back flip. Beautiful back-to-back full twisting jumps. Second tumbling pass, handspring, front flip, forward roll. Ready for the third and final pass. Round off, back handspring, back flip. Nice job, ends with a big smile. She definitely is a good jumper. She adds twisting into those, and they're so high. That's what makes them really well done. Round off 2 back handsprings into the back flip for her starters. Here's her front tumbling pass, front handspring into front flip, dive roll. Finally, round off back handspring, back flip.
Harmony celebrating with her teammates as we wait for her score, and Clea Zhang will be up next for PC. Yeah, they got about a month or so left in the regular season, Deb, and then we get to section meet coming up right around Valentine's Day. And
where's that meet at
where's that
this year?
season go?
For this section, because it was at
last year was at, it's been a Champlin, it's been at Irondale. I did not look to see where it's at this year.
Okay, I did not either. Sorry, I should have come prepared.
Clea Zhang with a classic tango dance that we're going to see here. Score of 7.95 for Harmony Harrison. Clea's high score this year at 8.05.
Love the music. Nice round of back handspring layout with a half twist. Punch front, round off, back handspring for that second pass. Beautiful ring jump there. Third and final tumbling pass, round up back handspring, back flip. Nice routine, great ending, big smile. And this is, like I said, I'm not sure who's choreographing these routines, but from both teams, they're fun and they fit the music, and you can tell these girls loving the personality of the music. Opening pass was a back flip with a half twist. Here we have that punch front walkout, round up back handspring for her second tumbling pass. And the final pass, round up back handspring, back flip. Lots of height on that.
Now, do you remember your music, your senior year at Cooper, what you used for floor exercise?
Yes, I do. Actually, it was the disco era, and it was Last Dance by Donna Summers. Would you like me to get out and perform it? Because I think I still could. In my mind, I'm thinking I can still do it. My senior year was one of the first years that we actually got away from just piano music. We were able to use full orchestra music, so it was very fun.
Alyssa Lance, all-around competitor for Park Center, will finish our meet tonight. A nice score for Kalia Zhang, and season high 8.25. Alyssa's high score in this event, 8.7. She's been coming off a back injury, and Coach Smith says he really has some good potential, and she is healthy. Can score in the low 9s.
Well, she opened up with a round-up back handspring, full twist, solid landing, didn't move, just stood it right there. It was a beautiful opening for her. Very high punch front walkout, round up back handspring layout. Coach seems very excited about that one too. Full twisting wolf jump. Sets up for that third and final tumbling pass in the corner. Round off 2 back handsprings, a nice high back flip. Really solid routine for her. That was absolutely beautiful.
Great job by Alyssa Lance to finish off Park Center on the floor exercise. Look at part of her routine again.
Here's that opening pass. Gorgeous. Full twist, you can't do that pass any better than that. She just completely stood right up. Here's that front flip walkout, round off, back layout, and a final pass. Round off 2 back handsprings, nice high back flip. Love the end, you could tell. She was pretty excited about that too. Great job for her.
Well, we await her final score. I want to thank both Coach Smith and Coach Bartlett from Elk River for giving us some notes on each of these girls. Helps us along and being able to give more information on the teams and each of the girls and their routines and what they've accomplished this year. I know that takes a fair amount of time to put all that together.
And it is greatly appreciated. This is our first meet of the year and stuff, and so some of the girls we know from last year, but some of them are new, and very nice to have those. Plus, who knows the girls better than their actual coaches, and we want to make sure we're saying the right things about them and they're getting the credit in the performance.
One other note, Bruce used to handwrite out all his notes, and his daughter a few years ago said, "You can't hand them that, Dad." And so now Bruce still writes them all out, and Amanda types them up for us. So we appreciate Amanda's work on it too.
He was legible. I mean, you know, it was pretty good considering it stuff. But yes, thank you, Amanda, for the hand typed.
Alyssa Lance scored 8.65, and so that is it for our competition portion of tonight's meet. The judges will turn in their scores, we'll go over them, and we will come back, give you the final team scores, and wrap up our coverage of tonight's meet from Park Center High School after this timeout.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to Park Center High School. Elk River a winner tonight. They are now 5-2 on the season in dual meets with this win. 136 points even for the Elks. 121.525 for Park Center. Welcome back. John Jacobson with Debbie Rasmussen. So neither team hitting a high point for this season, but as we mentioned throughout the meet, neither team with a full lineup either, which is dealing with injuries, and so they hope with everybody back in the lineup at some point this season that those scores can go up. And so overall, you know, you're just getting back in. You've had an invite meet after last weekend, and now your first dual meet. Get into the heart of this Northwest Suburban Conference and work on those routines in the next 5 weeks here before sections.
You know, not having your full squad makes it a little bit more difficult to have these dual meets. We were able to see some fresh faces and some first-timers that got to compete on that varsity level. But more importantly, some of the girls had their highest scores of the season, so maybe the team score overall wasn't where they wanted it to be. But we did see some of the girls have some season high scores. And coming off that big, huge invitational, it's almost kind of a little bit of a letdown. You get back from break, you work towards that invitational, now you just have a dual meet. So we get back into the rhythm of our competition season. We're gonna get back into the gym, do a little bit more practices on sticking some of those elements of the routines, and hopefully getting the girls that aren't healthy back in the lineup. Coaches would probably like to see that.
Right. Miranda Schwieger of Elk River, our all-around champion tonight as the Elks win, as I mentioned. Deb and I will be back in a couple of weeks. We'll have a late conference meet on January 24th as Wayzata hosts Hopkins, and then later this month, two of the top teams in this conference, Maple Grove and Champlin Park, go head-to-head. That is on January 31st. Watch for those meets coming up on CCX1 and online at ccxmedia.org. That does it for our coverage tonight here from Park Center. For Debbie Rasmussen and all of our terrific crew tonight at Park Center, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in. It's Elk River winning tonight over Park Center.